gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Middle Management Gamer. This is Randomly Ranting While Retro Gaming. Today's episode is Pride, Prejudice, and Kid Icarus. If you're not familiar with Kid Icarus, it came out in 1986 for Nintendo, and it uses the Metroid engine for its style of gameplay. So, you know how I feel about Metroid games and Castlevania games and Metroidvania games and all that. So Kid Icarus was definitely in my playlist when I was young. Unfortunately, I traded it to another friend for a copy of Rampage, and then that friend moved away, and I never got this game back. So I had to shell out a little bit of money to get a copy at a retro store not too long ago. So here we go. Other cool thing about Kid Icarus you may not know is there was a series on Nintendo on TV back in the 80s called Captain N, the Game Master, about a kid who got pulled into a video game world and was supposed to save the video game world, and he had different characters who helped him throughout it. One was Simon Belmont, who they kind of made into a jerkwad, a narcissist, and then there was Mega Man, who started everything off with Mega Gun, and this is Mega Bad, all that kind of jazz. It was a shtick for sure. And Kid Icarus also was one of the characters. And then there was a princess, of course. You gotta say princess, right? And then some of the villains was Mother Brain and the Eggplant Wizard, who was from this game. And Dr. Wily from the Mega Man series, as well as other characters showed up as kind of guest stars. But super fun show. Captain N the Game Master. Captain N the Game Master. So if you've never seen it, I definitely suggest seeing if you can find it online anywhere in streaming. Because it's just fun and nostalgic. So basically, you might be asking, well, what does Kid Icarus have to do with Pride, Prejudice, and restaurants? So I'll tell you. In this game, you don't actually play as Icarus. You play as a character named Pit. But the game does kind of steal from the mythology of... Oh, I don't know what just happened. I haven't played this game in forever. I don't know what's going on. Shooting death apparently messes you up. So if you don't want to shoot death, avoid shooting death. I'm going to die here soon. Not doing very well. My video game pride led me astray. I've died. Okay, so let's take a second. Regather what I was saying. Pride, Prejudice, and Kid Icarus. So this game, again, follows Pit. Pit is trying to climb out of the underworld. So kind of borrows from the Orpheus theory there, trying to get out of the underworld. Of course, Orpheus was trying to sneak his girlfriend, Eurydice, out of the underworld. This one, you're trying to get out of the underworld so you can go save your queen. Now, it doesn't really have a lot to do with Icarus. Again, the character's name isn't Icarus. The one thing, as far as the mythology it borrows there, is you have wings and they don't work very well. If you're familiar with Icarus, he's the son of Daedalus. Daedalus was the gentleman who built the labyrinth that the Minotaur was placed in this mythology of Theseus. The king put the Minotaur there, it would trap people, and the Minotaur would kill them. Theseus got into the labyrinth, and using a ball of twine given to him by the king's daughter, he was able to escape the Minotaur, etc., so forth. But anyway, Daedalus was the one who built this labyrinth, and the king was worried that he would tell people how to get out of the labyrinth, so he trapped him and his son in a tower of the labyrinth, depending on which mythology you read. Oh, no. Let's not go that way. Let's go this way this time. Yeah. So, Daedalus built himself and his son Icarus a set of really cool wings. And these wings were made out of beeswax and feathers and some other things. But he told his son, yo, don't... I really suck at this. Don't fly too low because the water will get you wings wet and then they'll get weighed down and you'll die. And don't fly too high because the sun will melt you. But his son didn't listen, because sons rarely listen to their fathers when they're young, and he flew too high and his wings melted. This is a representation of hubris, or pride. Fly too close to the sun, you get burned. Anywho, that's the part we're going to focus on. But the game also borrows from Perseus. Perseus is the one who killed Medusa. He got himself a nice shiny glass shield so he could see Medusa without looking at her and cut her head off and took it. So Medusa is the ultimate villain of this game. So again, I'm giving you a mythology lesson. You want to know what the heck I'm talking about and why I'm linking this to restaurants. So, in my last video, which was about aces and their places, the Super Mario 2 video, I told you that we had an event coming up. And my team knocked it out of the park, did an outstanding job. Probably the most successful store in our district. And, you know, I talked about members of the team, and I didn't want any of my team members to think that, really, that I thought any of them were bad. They're all great employees. And how filled with pride I am at the great job that everybody did during this event. I mean, again, everybody really worked really hard. They all knocked it out of the park. But it got me thinking about pride and how much it can damage you if you're, well, misplace it. Again, like Icarus. So, why do people in the restaurant industry get filled with so much pride? And I think this stems a lot from the prejudice that comes along with working in the restaurant industry. And you might be saying, yo, middle management gamer, what are you talking about prejudice? Well, a lot of people think that people who work in restaurants are, well, dumb, or lazy, or criminals, or incapable of getting an education. So, that's why they work in restaurants. Not because they chose to be there, but because they don't have a choice. The restaurant is all that they're good at and all they'll ever be good at. And everybody welcome Brownie, my guest star, who is trying to get me killed and managed to do so. Don't worry, Brownie, I haven't got past death yet. So, how do we deal with prejudice? Well, we show people that we're better than their belief in us. So, we talk a lot of trash. We bust our ass to be the best at what we're doing so that we can show people that we're not lazy, layabouts, not capable of being successful in life. I mean, maybe restaurant work isn't where you want to be for the rest of your life. Maybe it's a career, like I made a career out of it. But you can take pride in working in the restaurant. But again, what you don't want to do is deal with the sin of pride. And again, I'm not really what you call a religious person, but I do believe in the hero journey. You know, your hero starts off weak, not a lot of skills, moves on in life, has a couple of battles, wins a couple of battles, becomes this epic hero that everyone turns to save the day, and has a kind of like a falling out because pride leads them to failure. And then they grow, they have their catharsis, and they're able to save the day again, or die trying. And everybody loves them. Hooray, that's the hero journey. So again, I'm a restaurant manager. I'm not a literature major or anything like that. So, like most managers, I take little bits of knowledge about what I do know and glue it together with bullshit. So there we go. That's the hero journey. And that's what you want to do when you're in the restaurant. You want to, start off, build yourself up, get better at what you're doing, so that you can A, stay in restaurants and make it a career, or get the money to get an education. But what you don't want to do is allow pride to screw you over. Don't start talking trash and think you're better than everybody because you flip burgers better than anyone. That's definitely not what you're looking to do. The other thing you don't want to do is, restaurants can be a machine, a meat grinder. And there are people who buy into that meat grind, the daily grind. And one of the things that they do to show that they're, stronger, better than other people is talk about how hard they work. how many hours they work. And I fell victim to this at one point too. There was a time when I worked for a restaurant, and that particular restaurant had huge Thanksgiving sales. We're known for our Thanksgiving to go. If you know, you know. But me and one of the other managers would kind of gloat about how many hours we worked. I once worked a 36-hour shift, and I was proud of that. And I was killing myself, and I didn't realize until I got out of that restaurant how stupid that was, and how I was letting the machine chew me up and spit me out. You gotta watch this death here. Ooh. Got past it. He didn't see me. This game even has stealth mechanics. So that's basically what I'm just trying to get at. It's one thing to take pride in your accomplishments and your team. So again, a heartfelt thanks to everybody in my restaurant. Super proud of you guys and gals. Y'all did a great job, really knocked it out of the park, and that's kind of what gave me the idea for this video. I really wanted you to know how proud I am of you and your hard work. From the managers above me, the district manager, and the owners that gave us the tools we needed to be successful, to all the people on the line prepping the food, people prepping the food before the shift even started, the cooks, the people who were taking care of the guests, our version of servers, to the dishwasher who had to help clean up, the closers, and my management team. You all did a great job. I'm very proud of you. So, be proud of those things. Don't be proud of the torment that you put yourself through in the restaurant work on the day-to-day. Don't be proud to the point where you look down at other people. Yes, there's nothing wrong with being a restaurant employee. It's no more or less noble than any other profession that you can be in. But all of you out there who are working every day, you don't have to prove anything to anybody but yourself. You're good enough, all of us. And, we just get through the day. We have our family members that we love. Take heart in your accomplishments and the people that you make happy who come out and join you at that restaurant every day. So, thanks to my team, and thanks to all of you for joining me for this rant today about Pride, Prejudice, and Icarus. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.